Hello guys, Dhananjay here and welcome back to a new video with the new Zen 3 architecture. Ryzen 5000 series processors are here. I have the Ryzen 5800X. In this video, we'll be talking about that processor, and we have combined it with 3070, and we will be comparing it with the last generation 3700X as well. There are a lot of good things to talk about this processor, the performance improvements and everything, but there is one single thing which I feel it's going to be not that great for the 5800X. Let's start with the specifications. First of all, 105 watt TDP, which is really good. 8 cores, 16 threads. Obviously, it's going to be there as this is 5800X. 3.8 GHz of base clock, boost clock of 4.7 GHz, L2 cache of 4 MB, L3 cache of 32 MB. And when it comes to PCI Gen 4 support, obviously this is AMD. Their last generation processors had PCI Gen 4 support, so these ones obviously support PCI Gen 4 out of the box. Now let's talk about benchmarks. And when it comes to gaming benchmarks with the 5800X, it shines. Like if we compare it side by side with the 3700X, in almost all the games that we tested against 3700X, it was able to perform better. There is one small thing that I want to mention is that we tested the 3700X with the Aorus Extreme motherboard because we were able to get it working. But as soon as we tried the 5800X, we were facing some issues and two of the RAM slots were not working. We tried a lot of things. We flashed back the BIOS, then updated it again, a lot of things, but it was not working. Maybe it was an issue with the motherboard. So we tried the TUF Gaming Plus X570 motherboard, which we already had with the 5800X, and all the benchmarks that we did are with that particular motherboard and not the Aorus Extreme motherboard which we used for the 3700X. But you can see in the gaming benchmarks that obviously 5800X performed better, and not just in gaming benchmarks, in all other benchmarks that we tried, 5800X was able to perform better as compared to 3700X. I edited a lot of videos afterwards. I have been using this processor for more than a week now, and the performance is really great. With 32 GB of RAM, pairing it with 3070 feels like an ideal combination. Obviously 3080 is also there which you can use, and that processor will not bottleneck. Even 3090 is something which you can use with 5800X or even 5600X. Now when it comes to 5800X or in general 5000 series processors, single core performance has been really good, and this is the probably the first time where Intel's counterparts are not performing as good as Ryzen when it comes to single core benchmarks. That can be seen in Cinebench as well. Now that's pretty much it for all the good things about the 5800X. Basically, when it comes to performance and everything, the processor performs really good. Now the issue begins, and this is the only issue in my opinion, is pricing. Let me just go to Prime ABGB website and I'll show you the pricing. Ryzen 5 5600X will cost you 27,000 rupees. Ryzen 7 5800X will cost you 40,000 rupees, and 5900X will cost you 50,000 rupees, and 5950X is at 75,000 rupees. Let's ignore that. So you are going from 27,000 to 40,000 to get those extra 2 cores and extra threads. You can add 10,000 rupees extra to get 5900X. If you are someone who lives in India and is watching this video and is planning to consider the 5800X, let's talk about the build that you can do with the 5800X. 40,000 ka processor hai, just the processor, so you will obviously pair it with the RTX 3070, which will cost you about 45 to 50,000 rupees. Another shortcoming of 5800X, even though it has same TDP, is that it does not come with the cooler. That's why the box is smaller, similar to iPhone 12 series. I'm not going to blame AMD for that. Obviously Intel processors do not come with, like higher end processors at least, do not come with a cooler inside the box. AMD has started doing that as well. Even though I was a fan of Wraith Prism coolers, I have one system which has it and it performs really good in my opinion. So you will obviously buy a cooler worth 5 to 10,000 rupees. So only CPU and GPU will cost you more than 1 lakh rupees. When you include processor, motherboard, case and everything, the overall system would go to about 1,30,000 to 1,40,000 rupees. Let's go with 1,35,000 rupees. And when you are spending amount like 1,35,000 rupees, I feel like you will always have the headroom to add extra 10,000 rupees and go to 5900X, because 3800X, if you are planning to just build gaming PC, then not really the best choice, considering 5600X is available for 27,000 rupees and you end up saving 13,000 rupees. And if you add that 13,000 rupees in your GPU, then you will end up getting much better gaming performance. So if you are planning to build just gaming oriented PC, 5600X or even i7 10700K, which has 8 cores, 16 threads, is at 30,000 rupees and not 40,000 rupees. I feel like i7-10700K was its competition, so it should have been priced, I feel like, at 35 or 33, 34,000 rupees instead of 40,000 rupees. Because if you are a content creator having extra cores like 12 cores, 24 threads, it is going to help in Adobe applications like Photoshop, Premiere Pro, and you will get better performance out of it. When you're building a PC worth 1,40,000 rupees, 10,000 dalke, you will always think that get that processor which is better. I built PCs, my both PCs with 3700X because it was priced at 30,000 rupees. If I remember correctly, I bought one 3700X last year for about 28,000 rupees something. We bought another CPU for Aryan, which is for 29,000 rupees. I feel like if 5800X was priced at, let's say, 33,000 rupees, with that increase but not too much increase, then this would have been such an ideal recommendation. Like, buy the 5800X if you are a content creator. Now content creators will obviously have to go with this one, because if 50,000 is something which you can't do at all, then maybe go with that. But if you're a content creator, why not spend that little bit extra money on the CPU to get better performance in that application where you edit? Like, instead of getting 3070, get 3060 series graphic card, which will be launching pretty soon, hopefully. That's something which bothered me a lot, in my opinion. I feel like it will be very easy for AMD to sell these processors overseas because the pricing is slightly lower. But in India, it will be sold, but after some time, when people will realize that i7-10700K or even the 5600X will give you similar gaming performance. Like, when it comes to gaming, this one is okay, but content creators can pay 13,000 rupees extra to get that extra performance. If we calculate the per core value of 5600X, 5800X and 5900X, 5800X is the least value for money in that regard. And I feel like AMD should reduce the pricing maybe, and probably they will in coming future, like in coming 2-3 months. This is not a negative video about the 5000 series processor, don't get me wrong. It's just the 5800X which feels really odd, in my opinion, considering its pricing and what it offers. 5600X looks like a great processor, and 5900X at the price tag of 50,000 rupees is a great processor. Once again, that's something which I would love to upgrade to from 3700X instead of 5800X at 40,000 rupees price point basically. And I guess that's pretty much it for this particular video. If you enjoyed it, give this video a huge thumbs up. If you still have any more doubts, suggestions or queries regarding this video, do let us know about that in the comment section box below. I'll be more than glad to answer your queries. If you're wondering, does the processor overheat? It does not. The temperatures were same as 3700X. We were using a 360mm cooler. No issues. Basically, no issues with the performance, as I said earlier. I'll stop talking. I'll go. Bye. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching.